20 years. That's a long time. All of us in this room were much younger 20 years ago, and some of us weren't even here. But 20 years is also a good amount of time in which a strong, committed leader can make a great impact. And it is a good time to pause, to take stock, and to recognize and celebrate successes that have been attained, and the remarkable man, Mario Tonti, who has been at the helm of Beech for these last 20 years. Tonight, as our last agenda item, we're going to hear from some of the people in this room about Mario's leadership, his style, what he brings to his role as president of Beech, what he means to the community. As you hear these comments, some presented live, some read, it will underscore for each of you why Mario is so deserving of the award he's going to get next week as the Outstanding Nonprofit Executive of the Mandel School for Nonprofit Management at Case Western Reserve. And then finally, you'll hear from Mario himself, the highlights and the meaning of his 20 years at Beech. But first, let's take just a quick look at Mario over his years at Beech.
I have to stand and watch this.
Past board chairperson and honorary board member, the man who hired Mario.
Good evening. When Debbie asked me to speak for a few moments, she was a little bit nervous, and she's not usually nervous, but she knows old lawyers have a motto, and that's my motto. Why use one word when 18 will do? Now, Debbie, what I've done is I've culled. I've culled and culled and culled. We'll be out of here by 11. Let me start with page 1. Mario, By way of background, I had the privilege, as Debbie said, of serving as president of the board at the time that we were implementing a search, a nationwide search, for the best person we could find to become executive director. Beverly Slode was the chair of our search committee. Are there any members of the search committee that are here tonight by any chance? Were you on it? Good. We had a great group, we had a great board, and we worked hard. And I should mention that we were near the end of our search, we thought. We'd done a comprehensive search, we were getting near a close. And for a reason that for the life of me I cannot remember, Mario either found us or we found him. And I don't remember which, but his resume, as it were, came over the transom. And to just give you my own subjective reactions, and I thought about this a lot, why did Mario appeal to me, and I think most of us so much? And I'm not trying to embarrass you, Mario, but I will, right. Here was a man who was a top executive at Belfair. We knew Belfair. We know Belfair. We know what an extraordinary organization Belfair was and is. And we know that Belfair's approach was a holistic approach to working with children, much the same as ours. So there's a philosophical identification right there. Mario had extraordinary academic credentials, terrific professional experience. And it's important that from his perspective, think of our speech tonight, when we talked about care, the continuity of care, the 1/3 that was mentioned that may not make it. Mario had seen the results of children when he'd been dealing, as he had, more with adolescents, because Belfair focused more on adolescents. He also had the dedication, the experience, the knowledge, and what I call the empathy, which is so important to work with children and their families. And I'm delighted that he decided to come with us. It's always a bigger decision for the person coming than it is for the organization. It was a great decision. I'm delighted you were here, and I wish the best for you for the next 20 years. Thank you so much.
Good job, Judy Peters. Judy is the director of the Westside Ecumenical Ministry and a long-standing advocate for mentally ill and other vulnerable people in our community, and a longtime friend and colleague of ours.
Mario, there will be many things said about your intelligence and your professionalism, but for me, why you are deserving of the accolades that you will receive tonight is because of your humanness. And your humanness, for me, is embodied in the following things. First of all, your kindness is pervasive. Your compassion knows no bounds. Your inclusion has no eyes. And the tenderness with which you speak of your family is heartwarming. And so for all the things that you deserve in terms of accolades, the thing that makes me proudest to be your friend for the last 30 years, for the last 30 years is your humanness. Thank you for being a mensch. Thank you for your menschness. And thank you for the example that you set for me. I will never even approximate all of that. But it is so wonderful to have you in my life, the mensch of the world. Thank you.
Jim McCafferty, Administrator of Cuyahoga County.